Okay, so I had the coronavirus. I know the people that know me are probably like, she's an outbreak monkey. I promise I'm not. I'm going to tell you exactly the story, my experience with it, and my gathered thoughts from all of it at the end. Okay, so happened this year actually, back in February, my birthday month. So you can imagine how my birthday played out. So my job required for you to take a 2-week quarantine if you tested positive for the coronavirus. They had available testing that you could take periodically. Every 2 weeks you could test to see if you had it, just to be safe. And I remember the last day that I was at work. It was, I believe, like a Wednesday. And I remember being there and I didn't necessarily feel sick. I just felt irritated. I was very irritable. And I remember having like a slight headache and everything just feeling a little off. Felt a little floaty. You know, I didn't necessarily feel sick. That last day at work, I remember feeling just floaty, out of it, tired, but it wasn't sick enough where I would feel like I need to call off or anything that I felt like something was wrong necessarily. But I remember just not feeling 100%. So I got tested that day. And it takes like maybe 2 days for it to come back or whatever. I think I might have got tested on a Saturday then because I work Wednesday through Saturday. So anyway, I got the results back in the day. And then they're like, okay, you tested positive. Do not talk to anyone if you're in the building. Just leave and you have to quarantine for 2 weeks. And then after the 2 weeks, we'll give you a return date. You'll come back. Don't test though. They said you couldn't test once you come back after that 14 days because you still show positive but still not be contagious. If that makes sense. So like you could have the coronavirus for 14 days and still have it in your system, but you won't be able to infect anybody else. So, in those 14 days, I did not feel sick maybe the first 4 or 5 days. I didn't feel sick maybe the first 4 or 5 days, but I remember right when I tested positive, I told him to get tested too. He got tested, and sure enough, he came back as positive as well. So we were both stuck in the house. In February, we missed Valentine's Day, we missed my birthday on February 24th. The first 5 days we felt okay, and I was like, starting to feel a little iffy, a little lightheaded, tired, can't taste anything. Had little sniffles one day, started blowing my nose. So I had more congestion in my nose than he did, but he was coughing. He had more of a cough. But we still didn't feel as sick to where you want to panic or, oh, I need to go to the hospital. It wasn't that bad for us, at least. So about maybe a week in, I could say about a week in is when it was a day where I feel like I almost died. No, I'm just it was not that bad. But it was a day where I feel like my breathing felt a little funny. It was one day where I felt like, okay, yeah, I actually had the coronavirus is what they're talking about. Maybe one day. And then after that, it was like, that was like the catalyst of the whole virus. And then right after that, I started feeling better day after day. But I still couldn't taste. My taste didn't come back until maybe a month after that, honestly. Fully. And that was the most annoying thing. So like when I was younger, I've had strep throat. I've had tonsillitis. You know, I've had the flu. And all of those felt 1,000 times more severe than the coronavirus did. Like, I remember having tonsillitis and you feeling like you can't fucking swallow. You don't even want to move your mouth because your fucking throat hurts. Tonsillitis is no joke. Strep throat, same thing. Your throat feels raw. And you have like, I think I had congestion in my nose as well. And it's like, ugh. I remember having the flu and blowing my nose and this globs, sorry to be graphic, but globs of snot coming out, not being able to breathe, one nostrils open, other one's open, and they're both closed. You have to breathe out your mouth like this. I remember it being like that. Nothing like the coronavirus. I mean, for the most part, I felt okay. I was just sleepy and I couldn't taste anything. I'm not trying to downplay it and saying that's not something that you need to be cautious of, but I'm saying that my experience was not as severe as other sicknesses I've experienced that we consider to be normal. The vaccine. Now, I'm not going to get the vaccine, not because I don't agree with it. My personal opinion on it is that it's a little bit confusing with the information that they have out, saying that there's not an active agent, but I thought that's how vaccines work. By introducing an active agent, introducing you to a small amount of the virus so you can build immunity to it. But they're saying there's no active agent, so I'm not sure exactly how they're activating your immune system with something else then. I'm not sure. But from what I've seen, other people I work with, when they get it, the blood pressure, something messes with their blood pressure from the vaccine. I've heard 2 people tell me that. One woman, her blood pressure was like considered hypertensive and they put her on blood pressure medicine. I had another woman where it messed with her thyroid and she couldn't swallow. She had problems with her airway because I guess the hormones they must be using, possibly, don't quote me, I'm not from the FDA, I'm not a scientist, I don't know any of this, but my reasoning from it made sense to me at the time. So it felt like her hormones were off and it affected her thyroid. I had another woman who, again, one day she was just at work, she was like, I'm just so high, my blood pressure is just so high. I took the shot yesterday. I've been hearing stuff like, oh, my arm hurts, or people going to having to go to like the nurse or whatever at the job, telling them about their arm hurts, they can't lift it. I even heard people tell me that once they got it, they actually got sick, and on the car ride home from the vaccine, they felt like something was really wrong with them. So doesn't account. I've heard some people say, oh, it was nothing, but everyone does say that their arm hurts. A lot of cases with their blood pressure being high or the activating other issues that they have. I'm going to wait to see if everybody turns into zombies first. Definitely keeping my mask on for the rest of the year. Not to be protected from the virus, because apparently the mask don't really help with that, but I like keeping my mask on so people can't read my facial expressions and people won't spit on my mouth. Okay. So yeah, if you have the coronavirus, you're in my prayers. If you recover from it and you had a similar experience to mine, which is like mild, not too bad, let me know. Leave a response in the comments. Subscribe and like as well. Let's see if you actually had COVID. Because by the way, I was when it came back positive, I didn't come back positive for COVID-19. I came back positive for SARS-CoV-2 or something, which is the virus that can cause COVID-19. So it was different from the actual hospitalized type virus, I'm guessing. Again, I'm not 100% educated on this. It's a lot of different information. It's like every time I read something else I read contradicts what I first read. So we got to the point where you're just like, okay, let's just pray. Let's just pray. Sometimes it's like you're at the point where it's like information out there isn't helping. Just pray, okay? Pray to something.